Now for our story. Tonight, the opening of Wakefield's new supper club was in full swing, and so far it has been a great success. Lily Devon, who had undertaken the job of transforming the large old-fashioned ballroom in the Brown Palace Hotel into a colorful entertainment spot, had accomplished miracles. Well, dinner was over now, and people were beginning to dance. Everyone seemed to be having a very good time. But outside on the wide veranda which opened off the room, there was one man whose mood was far from lighthearted. Ben Calvert, who wanted to think over in solitude what his wife Jessie had told him just before they had left the house tonight. The telephone calls she'd received from Paul Cromwell in Miami. The report that Ben's daughter Kit had suffered a mental breakdown.
Jessie's probably a rag. Just another of Kit's tricks. Mental breakdown. Fancy name for just a good case of nerves. As Jessie pointed out, anybody can pretend to be delirious. Now, if it were pneumonia, something like that, of course they'd know better. Any doctor could tell. And yet, if Kit really is ill, after all, she's been under a strain for months. Suppose it's true. Whatever Jessie says, Kit's got something on her side. The way Bill acted. It's all his doing, asking for a divorce. But if only she had confided in me. That's what I can't forget. Letting people think I was in on taking that baby away from his mother. Letting me love him. Brag. Making a fool of me. And Bill Meade gets off scot-free. Going around as if he owned the town. Everybody's sorry for him. Well, when they hear about Bill Meade and Mario Descari's wife, things will be different. Wakefield won't stand for that sort of thing. He'll not be so popular once that story goes around. But I've got to convince Mario. There must be no doubt in his mind. With that hot temper of his, I thought it would be fairly simple. But the other day, he kept talking about his friend, Bill. Evidently, my talking to him hasn't had much effect. His friend. There should be some way to change his mind about that.
Ben Calvert, his bitter thoughts concentrated on revenge. And inside, in the gaiety and laughter, Mario and his beautiful wife have been dancing. Now the music stops and they pause at the edge of the dance floor.
That was wonderful, Mario.
It's been a long time, but I guess I haven't forgotten how to dance after all.
Oh, you're the best dancer here. Everyone was watching you.
Oh, no, baby. They were watching you because you're so beautiful tonight.
Oh, Mario, you don't mind if they did, do you?
Well, don't you worry, baby. I don't blame them at all. In fact, I'm darn glad they did. It made me proud.
Oh, then it's all right.
Sure, it's all right. You mustn't keep worrying. I'm a new man, baby. I've turned over a new leaf. And gosh, it feels wonderful. Not being suspicious all the time. I'm really enjoying myself.
I'm glad, Mario. So am I.
Oh, gosh, it's hot in here. Let's go out on the veranda, baby. Just for a minute to cool off, huh?
All right.
Oh, looks like we've got it all to ourselves. It's a good chance for a guy to kiss his wife.
Oh, wait, Mario. Isn't that Mr. Calvert over there in the corner?
Yeah, I think it is.
I wonder what he's doing out here, all by himself.
I don't know. Oh, but he's okay. He won't bother us. Forget him, baby. Come here. Kiss me. Oh, Carla. Oh, boy, I'm a lucky guy. Beautiful wife. Friend.
Yes, Mario. We're both lucky.
Oh, gosh. That scarf of yours sparkles like a shower of fire. Just the way I pictured it would when I bought it for you. It looks swell, darling.
I've never worn it before, Mario. When you sent it from Paris, I made up my mind I'd put it away until you came home. Do you really like it on?
Oh, it looks beautiful, honest it does. Hey, wait a minute. So you won't lose it?
Oh,
Not tied very tight.
it's all right, Mario. Don't worry. I'll never lose it. I'm going to keep it always. Even when I'm 50, I'll still wear it.
And it'll still be beautiful on you.
There go Peggy and Bill. They look nice together, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Have you danced with her yet, Mario?
Miss Peggy? Well, no.
Well, then why don't you? It might hurt her feelings if you don't ask her. Go now, Mario.
Well, if you want me to. But what will you be doing?
Never mind, darling. I have something to do.
Hello, Carla. I was just looking for you. Your husband kidnapped my fiancée for a dance.
I know. That's why I was looking for you, Bill. I wanted to talk to you.
Well, the music's going to start in a minute. Shall we talk while we dance?
Let's just talk, if you don't mind.
All right. Is it okay here?
Well, I'd rather we'd go somewhere else.
Well, how about out here on the veranda?
Well, that's all right. Oh, but let's go round to the other side, huh?
All right. Is something wrong, Carla?
Oh, no. Everything's wonderful. And especially is everything wonderful with Mario.
Oh? How does Mario like the party?
He's having a wonderful time.
Good.
You and Peggy. You've helped us so much, Bill. I wanted to tell you how grateful I am.
Oh, there's nothing to be grateful about, Carla. You see, Peggy and I are pretty crazy about you and your husband. We consider you and Mario good friends of ours.
I feel that you do. And that's what makes me very happy. Especially that you were willing to forgive us for the way Mario acted.
Well, Carla, you can thank Peggy for that. Peggy and Aunt Mary, that is.
Oh?
I'll admit, I was put out at Mario that day.
Oh, I guess you must have thought Mario was out of his head, acting that way all of a sudden.
Well, to tell you the truth, I just couldn't figure it out.
No wonder. But maybe I can explain. I mean, even though everything's okay now, I'd like you to understand. You see, Bill, Mario heard a story. It's hard to believe, but the story was about you and me.
Yeah, I know.
You do? You mean you heard the story, too?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, how could a thing like that get started out of nothing?
That's what I've been asking myself. But, as Peggy says, it's no use worrying about it, so long as the four of us know where we stand. I mean, now that Mario realizes it's a lot of nonsense.
Yes, of course it doesn't matter anymore. Still,
The way I look at it, whoever did make it up will forget all about it and let it drop, so long as we don't let it bother us.
yes. Yes, that's what I told Mario. The best thing is to forget it. And in a way, it did a lot of good. Brought something out in the open. Mario always used to be so jealous, suspicious. But he's not anymore. Everything's all right now.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Carla.
When Aunt Mary talked to him, she made him see how foolish he was. On top of being ashamed of himself, Aunt Mary seemed to be able to make him see that he should trust people. Believe in them.
And Mary certainly has a way with her, hasn't she?
Mm-hmm. And, of course, Mario never does anything halfway. He puts his whole soul into whatever he feels. So now that he's made up his mind, now that he believes I love him, that's all there is to it. He's happy. That means I am.
Sometimes I think it's not such a bad old world after all. Things usually work out all right if everybody keeps his head.
Yes, if they do. Well, now that we've talked it over, I feel better. I wanted you to know it wasn't all Mario's fault. About the gossip, I mean.
Oh, don't worry about it. Peggy and I understand.
Then you'll tell her how grateful I am.
You bet I will. She thinks you're pretty terrific, you know.
Well, then it works both ways.
You want to go in now?
All right.
Well, let's stroll around to the front, huh? A little promenade?
Okay.
Oh, and don't forget, you promised me a dance. I'm not going to let that husband of yours monopolize the whole evening.
As the two young people strolled past the dark corner where Ben was sitting, the older man shrank back into the shadows. Hearing Bill's last words, he smiled, following them with his eyes. As he watched, Carla's sequin scarf floated lightly down to the floor. Ben went over and picked it up. He started to call to Carla, then stopped. Thoughtfully, Ben Calvert stuffed the scarf into his pocket.